What it do, Washington Commanders Nation? We can now officially move on from Monday night's game from the Cincinnati Bengals with the Arizona Cardinals in sight. But before we do so, more glaze, more praise, and more acclaim. Jayden Daniels, for the second time this year, has won the Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week. Let's talk about it. It is now Thursday. We are now 3 days away from Washington Commanders football in week 4 versus the Arizona Cardinals. Jayden Daniels is back at his old stomping grounds where he started his collegiate career back at Arizona State, a place where he took on Justin Herbert in his freshman year with Brandon Ayuk and Rachaad White, and they got a dub early in his career. I wonder if that had anything to do with Jayden, us practicing at Arizona State for the week. Washington took a more non-conventional away road trip, and we're staying the whole week in Arizona rather than coming back to Ashburn. And Jayden addressed the media yesterday, and I loved hearing everything he said in his press conference. They were trying to get him to just bask into his performance from Monday night, and he continuously told them, but I'm on to week 4, and we're trying to beat the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday. A consummate professional, one of them ones, and just like he was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for the second time this year, today he was awarded the Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week. Let's get it in. My boy said I was looking for this video. How y'all doing today? What's good with it? Yo, these Cardinals media heads talking reckless. Yes, and if you watch my game preview, shout out to Mike from the Arizona Sports Fan channel yesterday. They think we're trash. They think we are the Bryce Young-led Carolina Panthers coming into town, and I'm okay with that. Let them think. Let them sleep. People aren't really giving us the biggest shot to win this game on Sunday, and I love it because I'm looking at the Arizona Cardinals, and while Kyler looks like the K1 that people know and love, or the guy people love to hate because he's a very polarizing quarterback in this league, they look explosive, but they don't look like world beaters. Like, I'm not looking at the power rankings and looking for the Cardinals in the top 17, 18 teams in this league. I know they started off with contender on their schedule this year. They had Buffalo, Los Angeles Rams, and the Detroit Lions. So that ain't no chump ass start to your season. So I'm going to give them respect. They have looked different this year now that they have a healthy quarterback. Love having a quarterback in Washington that's getting his accolades. I love it. I love it. Who they, Patrick? Who they? Finally got a franchise quarterback. Who they? But we're on the Arizona week. It is beat Arizona. Let's put some Cardinals on the grill, charcoal chicken style. Let's get them rotating like a rotisserie chicken on Sunday. Bro said that Monday game don't even matter no more. I know. Jayden really said out of his mouth, yeah, I don't even care about any of that anymore. We're on to Arizona. We're on to Arizona. This guy is a guy who gets it. Come on now. The last time Jayden Daniels was at Arizona State was that video you saw of his teammates cleaning out his locker and saying shit like, sorry, motherfucker. Yeah, take your sorry ass on. It sounded like a lot of hate. It sounded like a lot of jealousy. And statistically, you can say he failed at Arizona State. That was the adversity he faced in his college career. So the last time he was there, he was getting dismissed. They were throwing his shit in the trash can. It looked like when your ex put you out the house and she threw your shit and your clothes and your bags outside on the front porch. He's a Heisman Trophy winner later, and he has 2 Rookie of the Weeks and an NFC Offensive Player of the Week since then, and I don't really know what the fate turned out for a lot of those guys in that Arizona State video, but I'd say our quarterback got the last laugh. How are y'all feeling, man? How are y'all feeling on this Thursday evening? I hope Cosme is good. Prayers for Cosme's Achilles. That is the most important Achilles in the DMV right now, or in Arizona right now. We need him to be good, because when you see the word Achilles, you immediately think season ender and career determiner because Achilles, that shit is like the black plague of injuries. That is a soft tissue injury that usually ends up being catastrophic. I hope he just said, my Achilles is sore, and they said, oh, sit out. We're putting you on the injury report. The thing is, a lot of people think we're trash, and that's okay because we do have technically, based on advanced analytics, we're trending towards being the 8th worst defense in the history of the league. But fuck all that. Our defense is bad. Our roster's bad, but we have things to look forward to on Sunday. And we have a quarterback and an offense to be excited about. And Cliff Kingsbury has a revenge and redemption arc that needs to play out on Sunday. And I love a good redemption arc. It makes TV, anime, it makes stories great to read when you can get a redemption arc. They are still cutting Cliff Kingsbury checks right now while he's coaching the offense here in DC. Our defense, not so much. We know we got a long way to go on the defensive side of the ball. I expect a fun game on Sunday. Two of the more electric, dynamic, dual threat quarterbacks this league has to offer. Don't be shocked that little diminutive as Kyler Murray has one of the strongest arms in this league. That is a former baseball player, and I believe he is the only prospect ever to go top 10 in 2 sports. He was a top 10 pick, I believe, by the Oakland Athletics, and he went number 1 overall when he came out. Kyler is not something I'm sleeping on at all. And did y'all hear when Jayden talked about how he met Kyler at a mall and he spoke about Kyler for a little bit? It sounded so much warmer than when they asked him about Joe Burrow. He really didn't want to say or talk anything about Joe Burrow. He sounded like he was very cool with expounding, elaborating, and talking about Kyler Murray. Maybe there's a more mutual respect thing there, but I'm telling folks, Jayden Daniels and Joe Burrow do not really bang with each other. What up, Adam? What's going on, man? Tell Eamon I said, what's up? Good old Adam Rank, mad as hell. Our quarterback is better. Y'all see Adam Rank having a little fit on the Twitter app, having a whole ass fit. And you see Chicago Bears fans coping. They're trying to pick and prod and nitpick why our quarterback's playing better than theirs right now. So much for all that best setup in the history of football stuff, because suddenly they're turning the blinders on and they're telling us Washington fans that we have a great offensive line and we have better weapons, because the excuse-making train has already started over there. Smash that like button for your boy. Y'all already know the vibrations. We need E-Man back to guard Michael Wilson, because, yes, and Emmanuel Forbes is most likely playing on Sunday, according to Dan Quinn. He said he's geared up and he's ready to participate. He was a full participant in practice yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw the guys. They had their T-shirts on, their little T-shirt jerseys. They're indoors at Arizona State. This is cool. I love this type of shit. As someone who used to love playing travel sports, growing up, Pop Warner, AAU basketball, etc., I used to love traveling with my boys. So spending a week out there, Cliff Kingsbury's probably opening up that beautiful mansion that you've seen at his draft house from a couple years ago. He's probably opening up the door, bringing the quarterback and the weapons in there to come chill at Cliff's house. The media did switch up very quick. Chicago projecting their insecurity, their trauma dumping, and they're trying to cope with it. Caleb's going to be all right. Give it time. But do not start pointing to Washington for your woes, because I promise you, this roster is nothing special. But Jayden going to make the best of it, because 5 going to do what he do. We're all up on the power rankings now. Now, just imagine this, though. Just imagine we start stacking and putting dubs together. Oh, and by the way, let me stop the presses real quick. Did y'all see it? We got 133 in the chat right now. Smash that like button. Did y'all see that masterpiece of a fucking recap hype video from Monday that the team put out? Did y'all see it? It was like a Disney HBO production. It looked like Christopher Nolan made that motherfucker. That shit was good. That was easily the best content I've ever seen come out from this team. It's clear that they've put some money into the content department and they're spending some production dollars, because, oh boy, I would show it on stream right now if there wasn't going to be copywritten, but that shit was fire. Fire. We got to stop James Conner. We got to learn how to stop the run, but that video, holy shit. Bobby Wagner is giving this Shakespearean style speech to start it off in the locker room about how yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, we in the present right now. It was just chills from the beginning. Also, love to see Bobby Wagner giving out those speeches and not Jonathan Allen. I'm petty. I don't care. Love that a future gold jacket wearer is giving those speeches instead of Jonathan Allen. And did you see those shots when the field got dark with fireworks? Did you see that? Pause when I say it. Did you see that back shot of De'Ami Brown on the field? That shit had De'Ami Brown looking like he was Jerry Rice. De'Ami looked like the greatest football player of all time. That felt like we were watching a Disney documentary on a football team. That shit looked better than Hard Knocks production. I believe Callum is one of the guys who led the production on that. He's at _movie mode on Instagram and Twitter. Shout out to him and shout out to the entire content team. That shit was so good. I literally see people, our fans in the comments saying, man, y'all are milking this week 3 shit. Why don't we move on to the Arizona Cardinals game? To that, I say, why don't you let the content guys do their fucking job? What are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to be showing on the Commanders' Instagram, YouTube, and Elon Musk app right now if they're not showing you the content that they spend hours on? Let the content people do their job. Stop being fucking losers on the internet. Some of y'all are fucking losers on the internet. They're trying to get fans hyped up. They're trying to build on nostalgia. That was an amazing Monday Night Football game. And you know what you do when you work for the team, the social media team, the content team? You post fucking content. That shit was amazing. Shout out to the team for putting that out. That was real ass cinema. But let's stop crying over everything. Nobody milking anything. The team just got to Arizona yesterday. They practiced in T-shirts. What are they supposed to put out? A 2-minute hype video of Arizona State's campus and us running around in T-shirts like some camp counselors and shit? What are they supposed to be doing? Jesus Christ. When Devontae Adams said we got a miserable fan base, he was not lying. He was not lying. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of real ones. I know we're all tired of seeing the team lose, but Jesus Christ, let the content team do what they do. Let them do what they do, man. Shout out to Jeremy McNichols, by the way. Joe Witt met with the media today, and so did Cliff Kingsbury. JP Finley had him tripped up for a second when he started asking him about Jayden not throwing an interception yet through 3 weeks. And he was like, nah, you're not going to do that. You're not going to jinx me, man. They said them Hogs Haven fans. Oh, man. It's just, it's too much, man. We're allowed to be positive, y'all. Rio, they ain't going to give us our respect. We got to take command. We got to take command. All pun intended. All pun intended. Y'all, the Cardinals think we're trash. The Cardinals. I'm not talking about the Chiefs. I'm not talking about the Ravens. Not even the Cleveland Browns, who are supposed to be good. Not the Eagles. Not the Cowboys. The Arizona Cardinals think we are ass. They think we are the get-right game and the fixers to all their problems right now. What they expect the media team to post. Some fans are truly insufferable, and that's what I'm saying. Like, gee, some people, they're so miserable, they got to get on social media and start picking and prodding and nitpicking at shit. Like, go get a hug. Go get some ass. Go make a friend. Because, Jesus, who pissed in y'all cereal in the morning? I don't know what they expect them to post, King Hypno. Mr. C, channel member, thank you for the $20 donation. I appreciate you for pulling up, for always bringing the vibes and being such a support to the channel. The content team is cooking. Now, let me riddle you this. Imagine the content if we win 3 in a row. If we take this show on the road for the 2nd game in a row, and for the 3rd week in a row, Washington cooks up in Arizona on Sunday. Imagine what the content's going to look like. We got a week of content they're about to get of us practicing in Arizona. Maybe they can show the guys off the field. They can show the guys on the field. They can show the guys meeting at the fucking Grand Canyon. There's all types of shit they can do with the content this week if we get the dub. If we get the dub, man. That was a hell of a block by McNichols, but let's remind him he can't suplex, dude. Yeah, he was channeling his inner John Ridgeway. Hit that man with a Bronco buster like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Hey, Rio, what's up, Nicole? Let's get a win on Sunday. Yes, sir. You going to be there on Sunday? Anthony, rep it hard. We're wearing white tops. I don't know what the pants are yet, but we are wearing white jerseys on Sunday. Cincinnati thought we were the get right game, too. Ask Cam Taylor Britt. He'll tell you all about the squad. Big Simple. What it do, my boy? You know, every time somebody loses to Detroit, they struggle the following week. I believe it was Chris Long and my boy Jalen from Bleeding B&G Sub, my guy. They definitely put out some stat that every team has a hangover week the week after they play the Detroit Lions, because apparently that offensive line and that defensive line of the Detroit Lions whoops your ass so bad it takes you a couple weeks to recover. Apparently going back to about 2022, the teams that play the Lions notoriously and most likely have an awful week the next week. Let's hope that trend continues. That is a good call, Big Simple, because that is definitely something I wanted to get through. Josh flying the entire team down to Arizona to get settled in and locked in, focused right after a win. Game changer. You want to know why he can do that also? It's because he got the money to do so. We got owners with some bread now. We got multiple billionaires in the building. The last dweeb that sat atop this organization, his whole net worth resided in the brand of the football team. He ain't have no spending cash. He didn't have no spending cash. He couldn't make expenditures like Josh Harris has done since he got here in D.C. I love it. Joe Witt is indeed ass, though, to be honest. The early reviews are bad, but we're gonna give him some time to settle in, because ultimately, when you're given ass ingredients, you're most likely going to produce ass. There is no Jayden Daniels on the other side of the ball. So I'm gonna shoot Joe Witt some bail for now. Let's not give him the Jack Del Rio slip just yet. We're not asking for key cards in week 4 of the NFL season. It's been so long since I've been on the bandwagon, loving the ride. Welcome back, Roger. Bask in it. It's going to be a long road. It's going to be a bumpy road, and every night is not going to feel like Monday night just did. But let's push on, baby. What are your thoughts on the tunnel seats at Northwest Stadium? They look cool. The Tunnel Club looks awesome. They're way out of my broke-ass price range, but they're very cool. They flipped an old equipment storage closet into a Tunnel Club. It looks baller. It looks lush. It looks luxurious, and it is a cool-ass experience to just kick it, grab some drinks and some snacks, and watch the team walk out and shit before they come out to the field. I think it's a very cool addition, and it's spending money wisely on the stadium. Let's go. Let's go 3-1. Why not us? Wearing your white Sean Taylor on Sunday. I love it. I love it. The throwback or the regular? Which one is it? I hope we go all white. Yeah, we might as well. We're going for a different look each week, right? Except for at home. I want always, when we wear the burgundy, I want the gold bottoms from now on. But we've given them burgundy on white. Throw that combo away, by the way. We've given them burgundy on gold. We've given them white on burgundy. Let's pull out the white on white. Are we going to save that for later in the year? Scott Abraham's out here on Twitter stirring it up and saying that maybe Washington and Baltimore could get flexed in the prime time. I don't see that happening because it's too early in the season, but one Monday night momentous victory, and they're already talking about Washington getting on prime time because they want to put our rookie quarterback. Talk to these Commanders nice, baby. Talk to us nice, because we're on the come up. We got to figure out how to get the defense going, but we got to blitz Kyler all game. We got to make life comfortable for that little guy. We got to make life Did y'all see some of the plays he made versus the Rams? Oh, my God. He is Houdini in the pocket. This is going to be the hardest quarterback to sack that we've played so far. That is a fast, lightning rod, little jitterbug fucker they got back there. K1, I like Kyler. Kyler's very polarizing. You either love Kyler or you hate him. There's not much in between. I like Kyler Murray. He's definitely different. He definitely has one of those peculiar personalities. He's very Gen Z-ish. He's a content creator. He has a YouTube. He posts very cool off-season workout videos, and he streams Call of Duty, which was one of those issues. I remember for a year straight, we were getting statistics of how much film he was watching versus streaming. So, polarizing quarterback. Very hard to get to. Very, very hard to get to. Have you seen the mic'd up this year from the NFL or asked? I'm waiting for ours. Yeah, the mic, and they're shorter. They're usually longer. They usually used to go for like 30, 40-minute videos. They're doing like 10-minute mic'd up video. Come on, NFL. Your programming on your network is already ass now. Y'all can still put some time and some love and some TLC into the mic'd up video. What up, Sheen? How we doing on this Thursday? How y'all doing today? Smash that like button. Y'all heard her. Rio, you already know I bought that college offense breaking t-shirt. Wearing that bad boy to the Browns game. I love it. I love it. You wearing that joint to the Browns game? Hey, let's go. The Massage Menace is coming to town. I can't even talk about that game yet because we are locked in to Arizona, like Jayden Daniels said. What up, what up, what up, Dubs? How we doing? Courtney, what up, Courtney? My son wants to know who to start in fantasy this week, Jayden or Kyler. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Our defense is booty juice. Our defense is trending towards being the 8th worst defense in the history of this league. I would start Kyler because just like Joe Burrow did on Monday, we can win a football game where the opposing quarterback goes crazy. If our quarterback goes crazy and our offense can do enough on their side of the ball. But very good question. Tell your son, I think he's going to win either way. Don't put your heart in it. Put your head in it when it comes to fantasy football. I would probably start Kyler Murray, but Jayden Daniels is a fantasy gem, and I think he's going to run for close to 100 yards on Sunday on top of throwing for over 200. So my answer really is yes, but if I had to pick one, my fantasy brain tells me Kyler Murray. Bro, is Sam really hurt? I'm tripping. I hope he's not. He's on the injury report, and I haven't heard one of the coaches come out and say his status for Sunday is up at large, but seeing his name as the big money 4-year, $74 million, 45 guaranteed guy, it terrifies me. Shook me up when I seen that shit because it's not like an elbow, a toe, even though toes linger. But seeing the words Achilles, it definitely made my eyebrows perk up a little bit. But I think we're good on that front. Score prediction for Giants Cowboys. Can they both lose? Can they both lose? And I'm not talking about a tie. Can they both get a loss on their record, man? It would be very fucking nice. But please, New York Giants, this team has owned you. They've bullied you. They've belittled you. They have demoralized you for what, 8 years in a row? The Giants haven't sacked the Cowboys quarterback in like 5 years. Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all got to stop being little brother to them eventually. Y'all got to take the belt and abuse the abuser at some point. Go Malik Neighbors, because who else like myself would love nothing more than to see a Cowboys collapse and a Cowboys crash out at 1-3 in September? Because the collapse usually happens in January. It would be Christmas comes early to see them boys dying, bleeding in the month of September. Come on, New York Giants. Also, don't mind the Giants winning because I'm not fucking worried about the New York Giants, bro. Daniel Jones is their quarterback. That win hit different and sure did, but it's definitely time. Seeing Joe Witt take accountability for why the defense hasn't played up to their standards shows a lot, and we definitely have to be patient with him. That's a defensive mind, and that's an accountable guy. I heard of a lot of excuse making and finger pointing from Jack Del Rio when him and Ron was in the building. Joe Witt's like, I'm not good enough right now. I'm not getting it done. I appreciate it. I think he's going to be just fine. $20,000 for the Tunnel Club. See, that is out of my price range. Maybe when I get up to 30, 40, 50, 100,000 subscribers, maybe so. That's way out of my brokey price range. But those who can't afford it, enjoy, indulge, take pictures and videos and send them to me. If y'all ever want me to plug some of your like if y'all want to take some moments, some pictures, some videos from the game, send them to me to my email or on social media. I will show them on stream. I will show them in videos. I will show y'all experiences off because people need to see that Washington has a good time too, because people act like our fans don't exist. Run game and pass rush looks bad too. I know the secondary would be asked, but Joe Witt has definitely underperformed. He has, but we're 3 weeks into the season and it's a long season, y'all. We're not ready to give nobody the axe yet. We have to remember, as exciting as it can be, especially with a fun, exciting, dope-looking new quarterback, this is a new program here. We got a lot of new moving parts, and this is a very bad roster. But you know who else has a really bad roster? The Arizona Cardinals. And I don't want any of y'all out there to forget that the Arizona Cardinals have a bad roster as well. A retro burgundy Fletch jersey. Condolences again. And we're sending love and good vibes to the Fletcher family. He lost his beautiful wife to her battle to cancer last week. Let's do another one for the Fletcher family this week. RIP, condolences and good vibes their way. We have Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner, future Hall of Famer. Quan Martin's a dog. I think he's doggish. I don't know if I'd give him a dog yet. And 2 ex-Pro Bowlers, Payne and Allen. We shouldn't be this ass respectfully. Schemes and blitz packages are terrible on top of the execution. See, Payne and Allen being ex-Pro Bowlers don't mean shit when they're not playing like ex-Pro Bowler. Quan Martin is in the right place a lot, but I think giving him the dog title is too early for that. Bobby Wagner, love him. Love him. Bobby Wagner has not been great through 3 games, and he looks very slow. Frankie Louvu is the bright spot of the defense. Young guys coming in and flashing are the bright spots of the defense. If I had to pick bright spots right now, it's Frankie Louvu, number 1. Seeing Javonte Jean-Baptiste come in and get a sack in his first game, getting elevated to the active roster. Love that. Johnny Newton is going to be a fucking dog. He's going to be a killer. When we let that dog off the leash, he's going to attack. He's chasing Bama's down 30 yards down the field. Relentless motor. Obviously not in game shape yet, so they're still slowly walking the dog. They're trying to ramp him up. But Johnny Newton, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, Frankie Louvu, and a better game from Jeremy Chin. And Quan Martin has been solid through 3 weeks. We still never see safety help. I don't know whether that's scheme or execution, but the defense has a long way to go. I think a lot of the problem are the players he's inherited. We have a very bad roster right now. Our whiteout is underrated. I love it. What's going on, Herb? How you doing, Herb? I could see the Bears game get flexed. I don't know the rules for flexing. If someone has that information or wants to Google it, when do they start that? Because I thought the flexing only happens on the back end of the schedule. I thought it only happens on the back 6, maybe 5 weeks of the season. I didn't know you could flex schedule games in like October. So I'm not sure how that works. Kyler Low-ass fastest. Nah, he's fast as shit. And he has a top 6 arm in this league. Kyler can throw that bitch through the stadium. He has a cannon. And Michael Wilson's good. Marvin Harrison is amazing. Greg Dortch is not a slouch. They got some weapons. I believe they're going to be without their very promising tight end that I wanted when he came out, Trey McBride. I think McBride is going to be in the concussion protocol just like Austin Ekeler, and they're without their defensive tackle, Justin Jones, for the duration of the season. Speedy recovery for that guy. I think Cliff takes him to town because he knows his tendencies. Cliff, that is an underrated storyline. I'm glad that you said that, Justin. Cliff knows everything about Kyler Murray. He knows what makes him tick. He knows the good, he knows the bad, he knows the ugly, and he knows the behind-the-scenes shit that other people do not know. And Cliff is someone who can take a bow and credit himself for the production and the development of Kyler Murray in this league. That is an underrated storyline. Cliff Timothy Kingsbury, revenge week in Arizona. We want the Giants to win. It's going to hurt them in the long run. Going to draft another bum QB at like 10th overall. Or they could listen to Mara and keep Daniel Jones there, which we want. We want Daniel Jones on a lifetime contract in New York. I think defense has their best game thus far against Arizona because of Cliff. Ultimately, I think the determining factor in this game is the turnover battle. Washington's not going to have a clean sheet every week of the season. We should enjoy it right now. There's nothing normal about going 2 straight weeks without punting or turning over the football. So nobody should go into Sunday saying, we got to do the same thing for a 3rd week in a row. We're the first team in the Super Bowl fucking era to go 2 weeks with 2 clean sheets. No turnovers, no punting, and kneel downs were the only times we did not put points up in the last 2 weeks. That is an unfair and unrealistic expectation going forward. But, if we can force a turnover, or dare I say 2 turnovers versus the Arizona Cardinals, I think we're smooth sailing. I think we're coasting, we're in cruise control, and we are smooth sailing in Arizona on Sunday if we can find a way to force a turnover. I watch Red Zone when we're not playing. I watch every game that's happening on Sunday. Everybody lucks up and falls into turnovers. Everybody but us. Fumbles come out of nowhere. Interceptions drop out of the fucking sky into the lap of defenders league-wide. Why does it not happen when Washington is playing? Deron Payne, get in there and knock some shit down. John Allen, tip a pass up, and Frankie Louvour or somebody get under that shit. Let's force a turnover because as good as Kyler Murray is, he will put the ball in harm's way, and his little ass will fumble if you I was about to say swallow him up in the pocket. Y'all about to go crazy on that one. If you swallow his little ass up in the pocket, he will put the ball in the ground. I'm standing on it. Fuck it. What's up, Commanders? What's going on, man? Kansas City Chiefs fan in the house. Shout out to y'all. How are y'all doing in Kansas City right now? Y'all haven't even got Travis Kelce involved yet. Hollywood Brown's out for the season, and Mahomes isn't even happy about his play. Meanwhile, y'all are still 3-0. Y'all about to moonwalk into another 13-win season, and the road to the Super Bowl in the AFC is going to once again go through Arrowhead Stadium. Life must be very nice on your side. All right, maybe I need to chill out on Joe Wade. Yeah, we need to give him some time. We need to give him some time, y'all. Just like we needed to give the rookie quarterback and Cliff Kingsbury and Adam Peters some time. It's still early. Realistically, our next 7 aren't as impactful as Monday against a top 5 offense. We can easily is aggressive. We have to be careful when we say easily. There's nothing easy in the NFL. It's hard for the best team in the league to beat the worst team in the league because the parity is so high. And all it takes is the weather being bad, an off day by a quarterback, a couple fluke turnovers, a couple stupid ass penalties, and a game is swung in the opposite direction. Nothing is easy. And with a team like us who's trying to figure out who the fuck we are in this league, I don't think anything can be put as easy. But I hear you, though, because that next 6 games, we talked about it earlier on the show, that next 6 games can make our season a lot more relevant than we wanted it to be this year. What's going on, King Sean? Y'all subscribe to King Sean WC, by the way. Games can be flexed in and out of Sunday Night Football 2 times between weeks 5 and 10. Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football flexing can occur between weeks 12 through 17. And we play the Baltimore Ravens in week 6? We got the Ravens. We got the Browns week 5. We got the Ravens week 6. So, but don't the Ravens play on prime time the week before they play us, or is that this weekend? The Ravens are on prime time this week, correct? Versus Buffalo, or am I tripping? That's the Sunday night game? Because I know they're not going to give someone back-to-back Sunday night games, so I would have to take a look at their schedule. But Why the fuck wouldn't anyone want to see Lamar Jackson versus Jayden Daniels on primetime? People run that damn comparison into the ground, even though I don't like that comparison, but you already know. Almighty Finesse, you already know what the vibes are. Watch party starting at about 8:10 to 8:15 tonight. I will be on here hosting a hate watch stream. Go Giants tonight, baby. Go Big Blue. We are going for the G-men. We want them to take down our oppiest of ops, the Dallas Cowboys, even though Dakota Rain owns the New York Giants. We're definitely going for them. Sunday night can only be flexing between weeks 5 through 10 and at the NFL's discretion during weeks 11 through 17. Thank you, King Sean and Sinatra, for clearing that up. I needed that type of context. For Monday Night Football, it may be used at the NFL's discretion through weeks 12 through 17. I got a lot better view on it now. Appreciate y'all so much. So if Cliff knows Kyler, shouldn't that help out the defense some? Hell yeah. They need to have Cliff's smooth operator, ASMR, jazz voice ass in the defensive meeting, telling them everything they know, because he probably knows those small little intricacies and habits of Kyler Murray. When he puts his feet this way, when he points his shoulder that way, his body language when he's audibling or checking into a run versus a pass. Cliff knows that, because an offensive coordinator and a quarterback is a marriage. It's a marriage. You're tied together at the hip until one of you or both of you is no longer with that organization. So yes, you cannot discount Cliff Kingsbury's affinity and his knowledge that he has on Kyler Murray. But for Thursday Night Football, it may be used up to twice between weeks 13 through 17. Shout out to Sinatra and King Sean for coming in with that information, man. Appreciate both of y'all. Also notice that we are basically a 4-down offense averaging 7 yards or better. It's really a dream right now, pinch me. It feels good. You know what my favorite thing about Monday night was? We didn't even think twice about going for it on 4th down a couple times. We were 3 for 3 on 4th down. Absolute fucking nails. First drive of the game. We already knew what type of night it was going to be after we watched Joey B take it right down the field and throw that bomb to Jamar Chase. We didn't even think about it. Jayden looked like he didn't think about it, and Cliff Kingsbury was like, oh, we're going. We're going for this shit. And watching my quarterback on the field yelling, let's go for it on 4th down. That's the shit of ballers, man. That is the shit of ballers, man. Watching Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Drew Brees when they used to wave off the punt team and shit, I love that. That is the shit of legends right there, man. In years past, this team wouldn't have scored on that last drive and lost the game. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that was my main takeaway as well from Monday night. And that was my main takeaway as well. We avoided the Washington moment so many times. So many times. You know, that back-breaking dagger of a turnover that Washington does all the time. You know, that stupid-ass penalty that swings the game in the opposite direction. Or when we go for 4th down and run an absolute nonsensical play. We avoided the Washington moment so many times. Sam Cosmi is at practice. Thanks, God. He missed practice due to a rest day. The Achilles is fine, y'all. We're good to go. Our stalwart right guard is good to go. TD Jake's voice. Have you ever been swallowed? If you know, you know. Oh, man. Who you think they're pulling up at running back? Probably Chris Rodriguez, because he has more experience, but I would pull up Michael Wiley. But honestly, I don't think either guy that gets called up gets too much clock in the game unless somebody else gets hurt, knocks on wood. But I would do Wiley. It'll probably be Rodriguez Jr. Some of the fans got to remember, to have that optimism and ride the wave, but our win total was 5.5 for a reason. Yep. So every win we get this year, we should be counting our lucky stars, and we should be saying, yes, each win adds to expediting the process of evaluation that we're going on this year. We got Montez and Chase this year. Can't wait. Yep, we play Chicago and we play New Orleans, and both of those are winnable games. Chicago's got off to a slow start, but they're going to be a much better and different looking team by the time we play them in a few weeks. And the New Orleans Saints look much improved. I cannot wait to see Chase Young on the schedule again, because we saw him last year with San Francisco. He did nothing in the game. Buenos Sarah, Rio, we are ahead of schedule, just enjoying the ride. In regards to JD5, comparison is the thief of joy. And Dan Quinn said that the other day. That is a statement I like to live life by. I agree with that 100%. You see how bad our owner wants this. Who else sends their team across the country after a big game and puts 75-ish players up so they can get comfortable in a short week? He does it, bro. He gets it. He gets it. He's not going to be a perfect owner, but he's also not going to be Dan Snyder. And we need to appreciate all these things because the tide is turning. Dan could not afford to. Dan would have had to take out a fucking payday loan to do so because all his money reside in the team. All his money resided in the team. He ain't got no money for it. He do now. He do now that he got the $6.05 billion, but he ain't no money in his pocket. He ain't no spending cash. He ain't have money for expenses. You know, he was pulling out the team's cash to pop the logo on his stupid ass jet. So I feel nasty for rooting for the Giants, but I hate the Cowboys 100 times more. And the Cowboys are supposed to be one of the better teams in the conference, the league, and the division. So if we can keep seeing chinks in their armor and seeing them stack L's early while we win some winnable games, the conversation gets more interesting as it happens. So go Giants. Shout out to Almighty Finesse and Giants guy. Go Giants. We want y'all to win, man. Let's go. Don't speak on that. Rio, last text was a missed text. I was asked, do you think that they will trade Allen before the deadline? Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Do I think they will trade Jonathan Allen before the deadline? I think they will try. I think at minimum they're going to shop him. I think there's a chance, but I think we get caught in fan fodder necessarily. You will get caught in fan fodder. I'm scrolling up now. I see your question that you asked. You said, do you think that they will trade Allen before the deadline? I personally think somebody's getting traded. They're going to sell off somebody. We need to stack up some draft capital for Adam Peters and company to get busy. I will tell you fans, stop thinking that these dudes' trade value is high. Don't think we're getting a first or a second round pick for any of our defensive tackles if we decided to go that route. We're not for either one of them. I think a third is probably the best you're going to do. Maybe a team would give up a second for Daron Payne, but I don't think they would even shop Daron Payne despite the slow start. That's a young dog, and they're going to give him time to get going. Allen, on the other hand, trade him. If you can get a third for him, buy. Try to get a player as well. If there's someone looking for a defensive tackle, if we can add to the receiver or the cornerback room. Swallowed. Who can fulfill? I don't think anyone can fulfill the Ekeler role, but to replicate the production, we're going to need Brian Robinson to have one of them days, and we're going to need Jayden Daniels to move the ball with his leg safely, and maybe Jeremy McNichols can get a carry here or there, but there's no fulfilling the Ekeler role. Ekeler, one of them ones. Eckler's one of the best pass-catching backs ever. He's dynamic. He still has hella explosion, and nobody can replace what he's doing in the return game right now. He housed the kick in week 2, and in week 3, he started off the second half by putting us at the 35-yard line. That's not something I would call replaceable. John Allen jersey about to be on sale in front of the Modell soon. That shit going to be in TJ Maxx with no name on the back. It's just going to say 93. What if they called up Kaz Allen? That's an interesting one. I forgot his ass was on the practice squad. That's a good question, man. That's a good question. But Kaz Allen, he got to be able to catch. He got to be able to not fumble, and he has to be able to catch the ball if we throw it to him. He could possibly be our return. Oh, that is an interesting one. Kaz Allen. My man said, I'm rooting for my parlay. Fuck both of them teams. I feel that. Mr. Cool said, rooting for the Giants is no good. Them beating Dallas could potentially shoot us in the foot for a wild card spot. I'm way Two, not ready to talk about playoffs or wild card spot. So that's not even a thought I'm having yet. I get where you're going, and I like what you're cooking up, though. Is Cosme playing? He's out there at practice today, and I haven't heard anything about him missing the game yet, so I think he's good to go. After Monday, how much did your sub count jump up? Almost 200. We're already up to about 13,300. We're just under the 300 mark. I think we went up about 170, 180 subscribers. I'm hoping it continues to rise. We're trying to get to 15K before the Super Bowl and then the 20K before the draft. We're going to see how it goes, but thank y'all for rocking with your boy. Jerry wants all of Dallas's games to air on Peacock. I know y'all heard Jerry Jones being a nasty boy on Jamie Foxx's live. He's out here talking about players like it's a meat market. And he's talking about dick size like it's a combine measurable. Dave said, we will lose. Mark my words. Boo. Boo that. Yeah, we can lose the game. It's a losable game. It's also a very winnable game. And I think it's a push. It's a pick 'em. And I think either way it goes, it's going to be a one possession game on Sunday. But going into it and putting your whole chest into a loss to the Cardinals, that's not fly. That's not fly, but I respect your honesty, Dave. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you for it. Rio, can't even think of the P. Yeah, P word. The P word, we might as well treat it like it's Puff Daddy Combs. I'm not willing to go there yet, but we stack some W's up. We can start theorizing. We can start playing the mirror crystal ball game. The Eagles are not that good either. If you go by the eye test, right now they aren't, but that roster is really good. How about Jahan Dotson getting outproduced by Luke McCaffrey through 3 weeks? Thank you for that third round pick, Howie Roseman. Remember how they stole from Washington? They fleeced us. My boy, shout out Lord Brunson. Ski mask Howie. That nigga got 3 catches for 18 yards in 3 weeks, and he's ran over 50 routes this season. Cardio on Sundays. He's a track star. Whoa. He just out there running around on Sunday. Shout out to John Johnson, though. We'll see him when he gets here. He'll probably turn up versus us. Word on the street is John Allen to Carolina for Deontay Johnson in a 6th rounder. That's interesting. So when you say word on the street, what street said that, Jalen's dad? And shout out to Jalen's dad, by the way. At some point, I want to see you get vindicated as an Emmanuel Forbes truther. I want to see you come on here and talk your shit when Forbes has one of those Mississippi State type performances, by the way. But I think Deontay Johnson is a very solid second option receiver with the chance of being a number 1 option. I wouldn't mind that, but I would rather try to push for a 4th or a 3rd, maybe, even though I don't think we're getting a 3rd for Allen. We'll see. But I wouldn't hate Deontay Johnson in a 6th. But now that they're playing Andy Dalton over there, I don't think they want to trade their best option. I know they got Xavier Legette. Thielen's out for the season. It would be kind of stupid for the Carolina Panthers to do that. But they are being ran by stupid over there right now. I like their new GM, but does their GM really have the power over there? Dave Tepper is new Dan Snyder, so you can't put anything past them. I think that would be dumb on their part. So maybe that is a possibility we need to talk about. We need some big plays from our rookie tight end. I think they're slow cooking the chicken with Ben Sinnott. They're not rushing him out there yet. And with Zach Ertz turning back the clock and on pace to have an over 700-yard season, and John Bates out there blocking his ass off and route running, I think they're slow playing it with Ben Sinnott. He will have his time. We're still 3 weeks into the season right now. So let's not rush it with Sinnott. Sinnott will flash eventually, and I cannot wait to see Jordan McGee come up off the short-term IR because I want to see some young juice at the linebacker position. I want to see some sideline-to-sideline speed. Jayden Daniels is going to have his first 300-yard passing game this weekend and 4 total touchdowns. Woo! Talk that shit. Talk that shit, Shane, my boy. And I just tweeted last night that At some point, Jayden's going to have one of those 300-yard passing, 100-yard rushing performances. It's going to come at some point. It's still early on to his rookie year, but at some point, it's definitely coming. Just watched an Eagles fan react to the Bengals game. They are getting worried. Yeah, they just realized, oh, that Jayden guy can play quarterback. And only through 3 weeks right now, he looks more accurate than Jalen Hurts. But I'm going to chill on Jalen for right now. He got more interceptions than touchdown. Could y'all imagine how fans would be talking if our rookie quarterback had that? Their $260 million quarterback through 3 weeks of the season has 4 interceptions and 3 passing touchdowns. They gonna light his ass up if that was in DC. Rookie quarterback or not, our fans would be losing their fucking mind. So fans, remember how good we got it right now. And remember that our rookie is passing with flying colors so far. Can't watch the game tonight. It's on Prime. The Dallas game, that is. I will be having a watch party, so you are free to come through, pull up in the chat, and come kick it with us as I give my version of a play-by-play commentary. Five wants this one for both he and Cliff. They got to take it personally. We need that vindication for Cliff Kingsbury. We need to complete the redemption arc. Yeah, and Eagles got wide receivers injured. Yep, A.J. Brown's hurt, and he's still not producing over there. Love to see it. Getting outproduced by niggas named Britton Covey and Calcaterra. Don't even sound like football players. Those sound like cul-de-sacs in suburban neighborhoods, and they're outproducing Jahan Dotson. You love to see it. You love to see it. If we traded, it needs to be for corner help. And as a fan, I get this thinking, but here's the thing. Number 1 and number 2 corner help is not always as available of getting like a wide receiver. It takes 2 to tango, and it got to be available for us to go get it. We keep throwing out names like J.C. Horn and Marshawn Lattimore. Who has said these guys are available? But we're hearing the rumors with the DeAndre Hopkins, with the Deontay Johnson, with the Devontae Adams. You're hearing about them being available. We're not hearing about cornerback, but if any corners become available, trust me, Adam Peters will probably be one of the first person on their line like, hey, yo, what we doing? What we doing? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I feel where you're coming from now. Do you think B-Rob can put up 100 on Arizona? I do believe so. David Montgomery put up 100 on Arizona. Jahmyr Gibbs, who shares a backfield with Montgomery, put up 80 yards. So between the two of them, 188 yards on Sunday. They stopped Kyron Williams week 2, but the Rams were playing catch up immediately, so they never could get their run game going. Week 1, James Cook ran for about 80 yards, but they are giving up 125 yards a week. They're giving up $125 on the ground a week. We can definitely run on these Bammers. Forbes will have his best game of his short career this Sunday, and we are all here for it. I promise you, Jalen. I love that you're willing to stick out your chest and hold out hope for that guy, because boy, would nothing put a battery in the back of this fan base more than seeing Emmanuel Forbes have a good game in this league. Fingers crossed, because we need that shit so badly. Thinking about it, no. Austin Ekeler and Crowder out today with a calf injury. We may need Cass for the return game. Is Crowder really done anything for us at this point this year? Well, I don't know. We don't really force punts like that, so I don't see no punt returners. Who's going to be returning the kicks? Probably Olamide Zaccheaus. He can do that. I'm not really sure. We have to bring up Kaz Allen. We need a DB for Allen, not a receiver. And I just explained that a second ago. It don't work like that in the league. Just because you want something don't mean it's available. You take what's there, and if you're looking to shop a player, you got to make what's due with what's available. What is Fangio's hybrid defense? That's a great question, but they look like you can score on them. I know there was a weird game where both teams scored under 20 so far in the Saints-Eagles game, but Vic Fangio's defense can be had. They can definitely be had. If we win, I'm trolling the Cardinals hard. They think this is an easy win. The Cardinals think we're the homecoming game. You know, when you went to high school and college, you usually schedule a bum-ass team for your homecoming game. They think we're the homecoming game where they could come in and get fly for their females and get turned up and ready to have a good weekend of homecoming chicanery. They think that's us right now. I'm not sure what's giving them that confidence because, like my boy Mr. C said not long ago, what is Jonathan Gannon's record? 5-15 as a starter. I know Kyler was out a majority of last year, so context does matter. They won 4 games just like we won 4 games last year. So what are we talking about when I see them looking past us? Kyler scares me. He should scare you. Every good quarterback on our schedule with our current defense should scare you. But we got one of them. We packing that thing on us too. We got one of those scary guys as well. So they got to deal with our guys as much. We are the best fan base. We love our team so much. It can be toxic. It can be all over the place. And it can be conduct detrimental to fandom. But yes, we have a very passionate fan base, and we've been through a lot right now. If A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith don't play, Jahan Dotson is going to have to be their number 1 receiver. Please pray for me. Oh, my God. In fantasy, pick up Calcaterra or Brenton Covey. So we thought was crazy this week. Prep yourselves after this win. Jayden and Cliff back in Arizona. Remember how Jayden's ex-teammates hated on him? I know. I love that. Like the last time Jayden Daniels was at Arizona State, they were throwing his shit in the trash can. Oh, he sucks. Just get this trash nigga out of here. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Now he's coming back 4 weeks into his NFL career with a 2-time Rookie of the Week, a 1-time NFC Offensive Player of the Week in his first 3 weeks, not to mention a Heisman fucking trophy. And he's the 2nd pick of the draft. I wonder how many of those players on that team and in that video actually made it to the NFL, to the UFL, to the XFL, to the Fantasy Football Championship of the World. Jayden got the last laugh. Speaking of Arizona, why is Patrick Peterson a free agent? Because he is rinsed, washed, and tumbled. He's not good at football anymore. Would he be all right on this team? He probably would be, but he's like 7 steps slower than what he used to be, and he's not. A lot of his game was more so athleticism. The technique was there, but he could depend and thrive off athleticism earlier in his career. That athleticism does not exist anymore. He looks slow as shit now. We're going to steal another win that people don't think we're going to win. See, I hear you, but I don't like how that's being presented. If we beat the Cardinals on Sunday, that ain't stealing. They are the same stature of team as us. They won 4 games just like us last year. Yeah, they had a backup quarterback. We started a backup quarterback for 17 weeks last year. So they need to pump the brakes in Arizona. They have their heads high and their chests peacocked out because they've got a moral victory 2 times this season. We played the Bills good, and we only lost by 1 possession to the Detroit Lions. Well, I'm sorry. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a fuck. That does not mean anything to me, and it is not stealing if we beat them on Sunday. It is not stealing if we beat them on Sunday. I meant pray for the Eagles, and I accidentally typed a period. It'd be like that sometime. Covey to the IR. Han's still going to get outplayed by practice squad youngins. You hate to see it, man. Jahan having a De'Ami Brown season. You hate to see it. But is Juice our next? Is he our best cornerback? He sure is. Unless Emmanuel Forbes would like to challenge him for that crown. It's not saying much right now. Pat Pete should transition to safety, the natural progression of an elite corner. I agree. He should probably do that at this point. We didn't talk about him winning the Heisman enough. We definitely didn't talk about it enough. And I know it's in the past, but that's a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. That's a guy who's seen adversity because he failed in his first stint in college at Arizona State, got to LSU, became a household name, and now 3 weeks into his season, he's collecting accolades like infinity stones. We're winding this down at the hour mark. I have obligations to hop on the Roundtable Sports NFC East Roundtable. Y'all should pop up over there and bring some burgundy and gold cheer into the chat because we are in first place. So I'm going to talk my shit. Roundtable Sports, NFC East Roundtable. Jayden wants that crown. They're sitting on Pat's dome. Won't stop until he's the best. Love that shit. Shout out to our kicker. And what kind of question is that? Hey man, y'all ask. It's not hate. We like to make fun when people are down. We get made fun of all the time. We got to talk our shit when we can. Do you think Marvin Harrison Jr. will cook Benjamin St. Jude? I think Marvin Harrison Jr. will cook anybody we put out there on Sunday, and he will cook a majority of the receivers in this league. Nobody hates Jahan Dotson. We're just calling out one of Ron's mistakes because we went 0 for 4 in the first round during his tenure here. And me personally, I'm tired of having to defend Jags, to defend guys that are not good at football. Even their media's talking shit. They're laughing at us. They think we're trash. Fuck them. And you know I'm going to talk my shit, Meech. Maria, to all those fans that said Jayden is too old, how you like those apples now? And what the oldness and what the age did, it meant he's the most prepared. And it looks like so, even though he's not the oldest. Bo Nix is 30 years old and he's struggling to adapt at this league. We got us one of them ones. Kyler is scary, but so is Jayden Daniels. That is all I got for right now. About to hop over on the NFC East Roundtable for Roundtable Sports. Make sure y'all pull up in the chat, and I will see y'all tonight at 8:15 for a NFC East edition hate watch party. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Smash that like button on your way out. Let's get it in, y'all.